Well, Albert, they've got to. It's a great way to bounce back in North London derby rivals. You've got Chelsea and then Brighton away. 3 tough games, by the way. And this is the way we need to bounce back. But I don't know if you want to add to any of the comments that have been said, and then your thoughts going into North London derby, mate, as we come to a close.
Yeah. Let me add a few things now. Great points by Aid. Dan, you know what it is. I've mentioned this before, and I could understand if this was a team that had just been assembled, put together, and they were strangers and they met 3 to 6 months ago. I've spoken about this before when we was trying to get Champions League football. We remember the penultimate game against Newcastle and Spurs, and the pain of not making Champions League, and then you chuck in the 2 title runs. I'm not going to include last season because that wasn't. So the 2 seasons before that. So you have a group of players and a manager that have gone through the pain of not getting over the line. So what you want to do in turn, and I'll take Judge's point, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's given to you. However, it is Arsenal Football Club, and we've got a tradition of winning major honours. So you kind of want to use that disappointment and the bitter feeling of not getting over the line. Now, either the players are not learning, or the manager's just not got that's something, that sort of X factor about him to get these guys over the line. There's point of reference there over the last 3 or 4 years. So I mentioned it about the Carabao Cup semi-final last season. As angry as you guys were yesterday, I was the same with that, because I know how big a game that was. Because at that time, we hadn't made a major final for 5 years. That's a long time. We have to go back to COVID times. And when I talk about them not learning, there was the horrific stat last season in regards to losing points from winning positions. Now, if you combine 2025, Dan, and 2026, we must be at least the 30-point mark from winning positions. 10 points out of a possible 21, I think it is, in recent. You cannot win a league title with that type of performances. And the thing is, just to finish up, Dan, I played you the clip. I watched and big up Sophie Nicolau, because she's been on this train for quite a long time with Arsenal. And I watched back pages yesterday on James Ollie's ESPN. And I thought he was spot on the money of what he said. I played the video to you before we went live. It's all well telling us as fans to get there early. It's all well telling us to bring the emotion, bring the energy, the hype videos. Are you serious? Do you honestly think Arsenal fans in my generation, maybe a little bit younger, our guys' ages, do you think we're not doing that? Now, that's just us as the fans. So I don't care how strong you are as a player mentally at Arsenal Football Club in recent years, because you do not have a reference point of winning trophies at Arsenal. Now, people said to me, oh, yeah, but Albert, Havertz won the Champions League and Victor's won what he won in Portugal and Zubimendi. I said, but that's with that. I understand what you're saying in terms of winning mentality, but I'm talking about in terms of being a core group of players at Arsenal. We've got no reference points. It was mentioned earlier. I was on Sophie's show with Kenny Ken, the SWOT analysis. And Sophie said to me, what are the threats? Outside influences. I said, yeah, there is, but the biggest threat to Arsenal is Arsenal themselves. They've shown that in multiple seasons. Yesterday was probably just the tip of the iceberg. So I get the kind of the emotion and the urgency, but I think that filters down through to the players, man. And it's no coincidence you've seen some of the performances you've seen this season. So the fact of the matter is they're going to continue doing the hype videos. Dan, we don't need to be up for a North London derby. You crazy? Yeah, doesn't matter whether we're going for the league or not. And A's made the point. And I have to look at this group of players. I have to be really, really honest. Like I said, this is not a group of players that have just been joined together. You've got players that are 27, 24. They've got more than enough Premier League experience. I looked at Mikel yesterday when he did the post-match. He looked like a broken man. I don't expect him to be happy when you see a team play the way they're playing. But Dan, I'll tell you what summed up Arsenal yesterday to finish up quickly. And I've seen the video flying around. Obviously, when you're watching a game, you're in the moment. We have a 2v2 situation at 2-1.
Yeah.
With Jesus and Martinelli. 18 seconds later, they go and score. It's completely unforgivable. Unbelievable. So the answer is Dan. I said this yesterday on Sophie Show. I don't know where these players go because we was told as Arsenal fans, or we got kind of drip fed after the Man United game at home. They had an epiphany moment, the players. Mikel spoke to them, whatever it is, one-to-ones, team meetings, after training, whatever it was. This was good for Arsenal. They lost to Manchester United at home. They can reset. Cool. We beat Sunderland. We beat Leeds. But then this what makes the result even worse yesterday. Because if we've had a reset after Manchester United, how do you explain that yesterday? And we still got to go to Man City. 10 points out of a possible 21. And then Dan, you said it. People say, oh, you need to chill. Chill about what? Go and tell the 3,000 Arsenal fans that went yesterday and go and tell them they still need to chill because we're ahead. Yes, Matty, yes, we are ahead in the league. But, the Arsenal players have got to give us something in terms of ammunition. We can't fend off all the bottle job tags and all the rest of the negativity that comes with it. The Arsenal players and the manager, they're the ones to set the narrative to get over the line. They've got a cut fans to look forward to. But the reality in terms of the league, I genuinely don't know. And I tell the Arsenal fans, buckle up. They talk about a squeaky bum time. Squeaky bum time is not April, it's time for Arsenal. It's now. It's now. It started yesterday after the draw.